into a position where the fight is unavoidable for the likes of Canelo and Golovkin. We're not sitting out here saying, oh, hopefully we get a shot against these guys. Like, no disrespect to Lemieux and Saunders, I see Danny Jacobs on a whole new level to those guys in terms of ability and hopefully in terms of profile as well and draw. So that's the level we want to get to, where actually they're coming to us saying, oh, is there any chance of a shot with Danny?
Having fought Golovkin, some would say it would be fair.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, he's nowhere near the size of the star he should be after that Golovkin performance. Okay, so in my opinion, he beat Golovkin. In other people's, maybe it was a draw, maybe it was 1 round to Golovkin, but you couldn't split the fight. So there's this guy who is supposed to be this animal, this superstar in Gennady Golovkin, and here's a guy who has bundles more charisma, just as much talent. He's from Brooklyn. He should be absolutely mobbed on every street in New York State. Yeah? So that's really my job. And if I would have had him leading into the Golovkin fight, maybe we'd be in that position now. But we're building as well. We're not just building in the ring, we're building outside of the ring.
And so, why do you think those things have happened for him since the Golovkin fight?
Sorry?
Why haven't those things happened?
Because he didn't have a promoter behind him. Because he didn't have activity behind him. You can't come out of a fight like that and a performance like that and not scream and shout. And he's not the kind of guy to scream and shout, but you need a vehicle behind you to push you and make noise. That we should have won that fight, that we want the rematch, that we're the best middleweight in the world. That's just standard behaviour, standard promotional literature.
Danny, this deal with Eddie seems like it makes sense. After the fight week and now the fight is over, like how's the experience with Eddie? I mean,
this is the most promotion I've received, I think, in my entire career. The last 3 months. I mean, I was out in dinner last night. They were showing my commercial about 4 or 5 times in between the NBA games. So, I mean, it's just stuff like that that I feel like, it's going to catapult my career to the next level. Having a guy investing into me and a network investing into promoting me, and it just makes sense. And I'm glad it came at the perfect time.
Eddie, not sure if Joe DeGuardia is here, but Danny and Demetrius Andrade have history, having fought previously in amateurs and things of that nature. Star boxing, you just co-promoted a show with him. How feasible is that fight taking place?
Yeah, again, no disrespect to Demetrius Andrade, and I put Charlo in the same bracket as well, and I put Saunders in the bracket and Lemieux in the bracket. I see Danny Jacobs as a level beyond those guys. Doesn't mean we won't fight them, because they're very good fighters, but we're really trying to establish ourselves as the major name in the division. And that's why I said about the 3, because I really feel like there is a 3, and that is Canelo, Golovkin, and Danny Jacobs. That's, for me, the big 3 in the division. Doesn't mean we won't fight Andrade, Charlo, Lemieux, but our plan is to be in the mix with those guys. So we want to make sure that we are up there as a brand, as a fighter. So yeah, Andrade. At the end of the day, I don't decide who Danny Jacobs fights. We'll speak to the network, then we'll sit down with Keith. We'll put it forward to Danny and the training team, and ultimately they'll make a decision. But we're doing our own thing. We're not really chasing anyone in particular. We're going to do our own thing.
Eddie, before the fight, you said if Jarrell Miller beat Marius Wack convincingly or impressively, you might be in line for an Anthony Joshua shot. After tonight, where do you?
It was a good win. I mean, look, this is the Danny press conference, but Marius Wack, TKO 9, is a very, very solid scribe on a heavyweight's career. He's been beaten a couple of times by top-level guys, Vladimir Klitschko, Povetkin. These are top, and Jarrell wore him down. I think Jarrell has a lot of learning to do. I think he shouldn't be stepping in just yet. He needs 1 or 2 more before he gambles. And again, I'd like to see him bank the money. This is a tough sport. Bank the money before you gamble. And that's what Jarrell Miller needs to do. He needs to come back. I'd love him to box on our card in April. He's from Brooklyn as well. He's an exciting heavyweight. He would have learned so much fighting the likes of Marius Wack. But again, Marius Wack TKO 9 is a very, very impressive win and puts him probably 1 or 2 steps away from fighting for the world heavyweight title.
Danny, did you notice Arias favoring his foot because he said he had a blister in his sock?
Oh, he had a blister now. Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Those pesky blisters.
Did you notice?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if he didn't run it, or if he had met me in the middle, he wouldn't have had.
About to go get surgery on that blister now.
Surgery on it.
Danny,
Much respect to
he
Arias.
actually left with his foot in a splint. It was on top of the foot.
Yeah, man, listen. At the end of the day, It speaks for itself. Yeah.
Danny, can you describe your experience at Nassau Coliseum?
It's been amazing. I've loved the experience. You know, Brooklyn spread love. That's my motto. And I would love to fight all over the world. I love to fight and give people who haven't had an opportunity to see me fight live. You know, so coming to the islands, I'm still a New Yorker, still had people come out and show support and give these Long Islanders a great show. I really felt that's what we did. We accomplished. Me and Baby Miller put on a great show for the fans along with the rest of the other cards. And I look forward to continuing that legacy. I think, you know, Barclays Center obviously makes more sense because that's where I have my biggest draw. And, you know, we really have opportunity to sell this one out. But, you know, that's about building our brand. And that's really the experience that we have. And we're going to continue to climb that ladder. I'm glad that I had an opportunity to come to Nassau Coliseum and perform in front of these people.
Eddie, what's your assessment of your first show here in the U.S. and moving forward, what would you do differently?
It's a great learning experience, and you know, I want to thank obviously our team at Matchroom, done a great job, and the co-promoters on the show as well, Salita Promotions, Joe LaGuardia, Rock Nation, Golden Boy. I think that's a marker for us that we're willing to work with anybody in boxing and not let the politics of the game spoil fights for the fans. Again, working with partners like HBO, Sky Sports, Brooklyn Boxing. I want to thank Brett Yormack, Anthony Cantanzaro, and all the team at Brooklyn. Gina up the back there.
My man Keith Connerly.
Yeah, well, I haven't got onto it yet. But Brooklyn Boxing, you know, what I've found is there's very few venues that really drive the action, and Brooklyn Boxing do it. What have I found about the market? Too early to say. Little bit of a lack of noise compared, but I'm comparing it to the UK fans who are crazy, who are dancing around, singing, jumping around, and you know that's going to take time to understand. But everybody's got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a heartbeat, and they love a great time. And boxing's the greatest sport in the world. So I feel like tonight was a nice, solid start for us. I think we'll be back in the city for the next fight, and quite right as Danny says, Keith Connolly, thank you very much for all your help. There's few managers who care as much for their fighters as Keith Connolly.
I agree.
And you'd think that actually he's Danny's dad rather than his manager. But he's done a wonderful job for Danny Jacobs, and it's great working with both of them.
So Eddie, so for now, it's just a New York thing?
No, we're going to be doing 4 shows. Look, my deal is I'm not exclusive with